When I first signed the lease for this apartment, I never expected my roommate to be an alien girl pretending to be human. She looked normal enough, average height, long black hair, jeans, and hoodie. But the first week told me something was off. She didn't understand the concept of personal space, thought the fridge was a cold treasure vault, and once tried microwaving her socks because she thought that's how humans refresh clothes. I tolerated her quirks because, well, rent was cheaper this way. But there were other problems. She stared at me too long when she thought I wasn't looking. She kept asking strange questions like, do humans always hide their second limbs? Or what happens if your skin peels off? I brushed it off as her being socially awkward. Still, she wasn't the only one keeping secrets. I had mine, too, the kind of secret that made me avoid gym showers, doctor checkups, even changing in front of anyone. My secret had been buried since childhood, hidden under oversized hoodies and careful movements. And if she ever discovered it, I wasn't sure what would happen. Despite all this, we had a rhythm. She made bizarre alien smoothies at 3 a.m. I blasted old rock music to annoy her, and somehow we didn't kill each other. Sometimes, I even found myself laughing at her misunderstandings. Like the time she saw a cat on the balcony and whispered, "Tiny Earth Tiger, shall we kill it before it evolves?" But every laugh came with a reminder, keep your secret safe. That night, I was in my room, half asleep, scrolling on my phone. My hoodie had slipped down, and I didn't notice the faint movement behind me, the thing I always made sure to hide. The door suddenly creaked open. "Hey, human," she began casually, before stopping mid-sentence. Her eyes widened. A golden shimmer rippled across her irises, glowing faintly in the dark. Her breath caught in her throat. I froze. My blood ran cold. I didn't even have time to cover it. Her gaze locked not on me, but on the tail swaying gently behind my chair. And in that moment, silence turned heavier than any scream. For 3 full seconds, neither of us breathed. Her pupils widened, glowing brighter like molten silver. My heart slammed against my ribs, and the only sound in the room was the soft swish of the tail I had failed to control. She whispered, voice trembling, "That's impossible." I shot up from my chair, nearly tripping over myself as I tried to hide it under my hoodie. "It's not what you think," I blurted out. My brain scrambled for excuses. It's a cosplay prop. Yeah, super realistic, right? Got it from Comic-Con." Her gaze narrowed. "Cosplay props don't twitch on their own." I swallowed. "Animatronics." The silence stretched. I forced a laugh, but my voice cracked halfway. She didn't laugh back. Instead, she stepped closer, her face pale yet burning with suspicion. "I've seen that before," she muttered. "That shape. That movement. It's not human. Not even close." Panic crawled up my spine. "Okay, listen. Can we just forget you saw anything? Roommate privacy, right? Like when you burned my frying pan trying to boil pizza?" I didn't tell anyone. Her eyes flickered, but this wasn't the time for jokes. She leaned in so close I could feel the faint static of her energy against my skin. "You're not supposed to exist," she said, almost to herself. "Hybrids were destroyed years ago. Wiped out." My throat went dry. "Hybrids?" She stared at me with something between fear and recognition. "You're one of them. Half human, half something else. Aren't you?" The word hybrid hung heavy in the air. I didn't want to confirm it, but denying it seemed pointless. My secret was out. My voice dropped low. "If I am, what happens now?" Her hands curled into fists. "If I report you, enforcers will come. They'll take you away. That's the law." My blood chilled. This wasn't just about her discovering my tale. It was about survival. She had the power to expose me with a single call. But then her gaze softened, just slightly. "The problem is, I don't know if I want to turn you in anymore." Before I could respond, the floor creaked in the hallway. A shadow passed under the doorframe. Someone else was out there, listening. The shadow under the door made both of us freeze. My roommate's glowing eyes dimmed instantly, her instincts snapping into survival mode. She placed a finger to her lips, silently ordering me not to make a sound. My tail twitched, betraying my panic, but she grabbed it with surprising gentleness and shoved me behind her. The knock came. Sharp, heavy, deliberate. Open up. Routine inspection. Her breath hitched. Enforcers, she whispered, so faint I barely caught it. My chest tightened. I'd heard the word before, in the half-forgotten warnings my father had muttered when I was a child. Enforcers didn't do routine anything. If they were here, it was because of me. The knock grew louder. The voice more forceful. Open. Now. My roommate shot me a look, equal parts fury and confusion. They're here because of you, aren't they? I wanted to deny it, but the truth pressed down heavier than the pounding at the door. I've been careful. I don't know how they. She cut me off. Energy signatures. You slipped. The word stung. Slipped. Like I hadn't spent years of my life hiding, blending in, pretending to be normal. I opened my mouth to argue, but then her tone shifted, quieter, almost pained. I was sent here for this exact reason. To find hybrids. To report them. The words hit harder than the fists on the door. My chest burned. So it was true. She wasn't some random alien exchange student dumped in my apartment. She was a hunter. Then why haven't you called them already? I demanded. My voice came out harsher than I meant. She looked away, her jaw tight. Because, you're not what I expected. The door rattled violently now, metal bending under pressure. We had seconds before it gave way. Her eyes flicked back to mine, fierce and conflicted. If they find you, you're done. If I protect you, I'm done. Either way, she trailed off, her breath trembling. I swallowed, my mind racing. So what do we do? The final bang on the door cracked the frame. Splinters rained onto the carpet. She grabbed my wrist with surprising strength. We run. The door frame cracked with a sickening groan. I didn't wait to see it shatter. I let her drag me down the narrow hallway. Her grip was ironclad, far stronger than I'd imagined. Back exit, she hissed. My hoodie, my bag, I started, but she shot me a glare that could kill. Do you want them to drag you by the tail through the streets? Move. That shut me up. We bolted past the kitchen, nearly tripping over the chair she'd left from her midnight gravity experiments. The walls shook as the door finally gave way behind us. A flood of heavy boots thundered inside. We burst into the stairwell, the air thick with the metallic tang of alien tech. Blue lights flickered against the walls, scanning for us. My chest tightened. Those scanners weren't human. She shoved me ahead. Keep running. My lungs burned, but panic kept my legs moving. Somewhere between gasps, I managed, "You're really good at this for a so-called student roommate." Shut up, she snapped, though I caught the twitch of a smile. Even on the verge of death, my sarcasm had a way of slipping through. We crashed through the back door into the night air. Rain poured, disguising our tracks, but not enough to hide us from the humming drones sweeping overhead. I ducked under an awning, clutching my tail tight against my body. This is insane. How long before they find us? Her expression darkened. They're not looking for us. They're looking for you. That stung. You still haven't answered. Are you going to turn me in? Her jaw tightened. I was supposed to. That was the mission. Find hybrids. Erase them. But, she hesitated, eyes searching mine. You're not what I was told. You laugh. You care. She cut herself short, like the words themselves were dangerous. Before I could respond, a cold, metallic voice rang out from the street. Hybrid detected. Surrender immediately. Blue beams of light cut through the rain. Enforcers. She grabbed my hand, her voice fierce. I don't know why, but I'm choosing you. Don't make me regret it. We dashed into the storm, our shadows swallowed by the glowing pursuit. Rain hammered the streets as we sprinted through the maze of alleys. Blue searchlights swept past, slicing through the downpour. Every time a beam skimmed too close, my chest tightened. My secret, my tail, felt heavier with each step, as if it knew this night could end everything. We can't outrun them forever. I shouted over the storm. She glanced back, water streaming down her glowing eyes. We don't outrun them. We outfight them. I stopped dead in my tracks. Excuse me? Fight the galaxy's best-trained hunters with what? My charming personality. She grabbed my arm, pulling me into the shadow of a crumbling wall. Not just that. Your tail, it's not just decoration, is it? I froze. The words stabbed deeper than any blade. She knew. You don't understand, I said hoarsely. If I use it, they'll trace me instantly. My father, he died because he tried. Her expression softened for a heartbeat, then hardened again. If you don't, you'll die anyway. And so will I. The metallic voice of the enforcers echoed, closer now. Target confirmed. Eliminate. Something inside me snapped. I was done running. Done hiding. Fine, I muttered. But don't say I didn't warn you. The tail uncoiled, glowing faintly under the rain. Power surged up my spine, a force I had buried for years. The alley lit with golden sparks. The enforcers rounded the corner and froze. For the first time, they hesitated. I swung the tail like a whip, slamming it against the pavement. The shockwave rippled outward, sending drones crashing into walls. Sparks exploded. My roommate shielded her face, her mouth open in awe. She gasped. So much more than a hybrid. The lead enforcer staggered back, voice warping. Impossible, his awakened. I didn't know what that meant, but I didn't care. For once, I wasn't prey. We bolted through the chaos, leaving smoke and shattered drones behind. My chest heaved, adrenaline roaring through my veins. Finally, in the shelter of a dark tunnel, she turned to me. Her hand still gripped mine. They'll never stop now. Not after tonight. I forced a grin, though my heart was pounding. Roommates for life, then. Her lips curved into the faintest smile. More like fugitives. Somewhere above, sirens wailed. The hunt had only just begun.